Good morning, all. A beautiful day. Wonderful, beautiful day. The sun is shining. I see lots of people up and about. It's always a good thing when you see lots of people up and about. Um, God bless Jamaica land we love and keep us safe and sound. There are some things that I just want to expound on that I said in the live, and some things that I did not mention that I want to also talk about. Um, just to get some things off of my chest and get some things out of my mind. Let's start with this turnout of voters. 29.1% of voters came out to vote in the local government elections of February 26, 2024. 29.1% of voters turn out. And they turn out against the backdrop of one, their lives are basically miserable. That 29%. And many people who didn't turn out, their lives are also not good. So them didn't bother come. But let's talk about it. Their lives are miserable. The cost of living is through the roof. Just the price of buying food. And where's the cost of living? I am specifically talking about the cost of buying food. The most basic of items to put food on the table for your families. That is a driving force for people's mindset, for people's mental health, for people's stability, for people's happiness. If we could do a happiness index now in Jamaica, we might find that Jamaica used to be a very happy and jovial place no matter what happening. But if we had a happiness index to measure it by now, I would say our people are not happy. Jamaicans are not happy. They are not comfortable. They are searching for other ways out. People are constantly looking for a way to leave the country. Not that is well, the US economy is booming. It's not exactly a better life for most people who has never been before and don't understand what them have to go through in order to even start settle down to get a good life. But even so, people are beginning to believe and that anywhere is better than yes, and they place that blame for their lot in life squarely at the feet of Andrew Holness, squarely at the feet of Andrew Michael Holness. That is the reason they blame him for all the collective ills of their lives. They are not interested in what is happening in the world and how it affects us. Them don't matter about that because they feel that it's the responsibility of the government to take care of certain basic things so that we can take care of certain basic things. I mean, every time, and I'm just speaking off the cuff here, every time I venture down to the supermarket to get basic items, and I mean basic items, we don't buy bread in the supermarket. It's cheaper on the bread van, and a bread truck come through Jerusalem, come at Jerusalem, park up at my ice cream shop where there's a next shop there for like 45 minutes a morning time, and then go down the road, go park up for the next half hour somewhere else. Between on Headley Avenue, them stop at least 3 to 4 places to just sell people bread. And the bread truck is safe. You can buy your bread at the bread truck. But on any given day, if you go up to Sampars or one of those places where meat is cheap, or you can get the cut chicken, where them call it, which is really a more meaty part of a chicken back. Just that alone. Or if you go up there, if you get the cheapest 4 or 5 pounds of chicken, that you're looking at $1,200-1,500. No matter what you do, you're looking at that. Huh? It is hard. It is hard for people. So therefore, this election for most people was one of two things. Either them coming out to come show bro God so them are not with him, or them not coming out at all. And that is where I want to start from. Things are so bad. People so up in arms against Andrew Holness. But nobody's still not screaming for a change. There's no scream for a change. What we saw on February 26th, the local government election day, are young people primarily, and some middle-aged people who did not show up in 2020, some older people too who didn't show up in 2020, going out to vote to register their disgust against Andrew Holness. That's what we saw. Not people flocking to say we want the PNP or we want Mark Golding. Many people don't even know who he is. Them see me run up and down, them see this white man and all the rest of it. The young people still don't know who he is. But what we have is a country in a state of constant emergency, so to speak, based on people's lives, based on people's inability to meet to do basic functional things, pay the little light bill, pay it in parts. I mean, I can tell, I live it, so I can talk about it. I don't pay the light bill for the house and the light bill for the shop. When the light bill comes, 7,000, 9,000, I don't pay it. I can't pay it like that. I have to pay 2,000. I don't wait for it to come. I don't wait. I can't wait on it to come. That is how most people do. That's what most people do. That's how most people live, by not waiting on the big light bill to come, by paying it in small quantities. 2,000 this day, and something might happen next 2 days from now. You pay one next 1,000, something might happen. Some whole things might sell this week, and you sell off a whole things, and ice cream sell, and do a whole printing and photocopying, and the children come in and buy a whole book and pencil and stuff, and you can pay $3,000 come Monday morning. That's how people live, trying to just survive in this day and age. Pardon me. It is sad, very, very sad, and it is not a good thing for other Jamaicans to be going through so much struggles just to put the rice and peas on the table. It is hard, and so some of them came out on the 26th to register their disgust with Brogard. But I want the PNP to understand something. And it's the PNP may talk to particularly now. I want to understand something. The Jamaican public did not come out in droves to vote for the PNP. They did not. The PNP base barely touched. It is after staying up until 3 a.m. this morning with those numbers that I wake up and I get some sleep and I wake up and the numbers and everything start make sense. Make some calls and everything start making sense. The PNP base did not show up in any great numbers. Mark Golding enjoys a 12% positive rating amongst the PNP people. Let me remind you, that 12% that Mark Golding has, now not really Jamaica. Those are just PNP people. And not even that entire 12% turned out. That part of the PNP base. Why? Because the people them vexed and upset about how Mark Golding and Peter Bunting captured the party, destroyed the internal fabric of the party, and now in there trying to recruit every single person in order for them to get power, and everybody who join in them and jumping on them bandwagon and say we go help a party because we have to get rid of Brogard and we have to get rid of that wicked government here. So everybody must just come together and know why we could go and go do it. That's a good argument to be made to PNP people. But look around you. Look at the numbers. All of you saying that. Look around you and look at the numbers. That argument did not work with the PNP base. That argument did not work with the PNP base. Some Labourites came out too. When I look at some places. When I look at some places like Portland and St. Thomas, well, not Portland so much, but St. Thomas, St. Catherine, even some places in Clarendon, some Labourites stayed away. And we're talking about the grassroots, their base stayed away because they are not with Mr. Holness either. But I'm not going into the Mr. Holness problem. Mr. Holness problem is not my problem. It's a PNP. That is my issue. How on God's green earth could this golden opportunity be presented to us, and we failed massively to maximize it and bring it to a boiling point to tip over Andrew Holness? How did we fail on that? How did that happen? As I said, the PNP base is still upset, and I don't even know how upset people are. And we never take the time out to go really find out, up there. I talk about people must come on board and come on train. Up there, I tell people about make a work with Marky G. The PNP needs to win. I hate that damn argument, you see. We need to win, power at all cost. We need to get rid of the mania. We need to have power. The passion that these people say these things with is them one power them talking about. Is that power for people? It's power for them. Power for them, more for them. That's the passion they say it with, that, boy, we have to do this. We could do it, man. A lot of people try to convince me. And I'm not anti-PNP. I'm PNP. I'm more PNP than Mark. And if Mark a PNP, Mark a Labourite. Mark is a known Labourite. Mark never even transferred him vote to South St. Andrew. Mark don't have South St. Andrew from 2017. And all of them can't transfer him vote down there. For go walk around down to the town and go vote. And people get to see him vote as it's a bragging right, you know. Having you as a member of parliament or a council, having your name on the voters list in your constituency is a bragging right thing, you know. It's bragging rights. It is. Every time Michael Manley moved his vote, it's bragging rights. It is bragging rights. So if you feel that your vote is at some place where it actually needed to help the PNP, then fine. But even so, the party leader should have his or her vote in their constituency. And him not move him one yet. And that is also telling. How can we sit here as PNP this morning and talk about how much trouble the JLP in, how much problems are going on over there, and how them want to get rid of Holness, how Holness want to leave, and how Mrs. Holness want to be leader, and how Mrs. Holness over there undermining a whole heap of the whole JLP MPs and councillors because she herself want power too, because she want to be leader too. And we out here talking about that. What people talking about that? She lost one of her seats. She almost lose Mavis Bank. And none of those things have anything to do with PNP. None of those things have anything to do with the PNP. All of those things have everything to do with Andrew Holness. Everything. Nobody out there came out to vote because them want to vote PNP, or because them think the PNP should get power, or because them think that Mark Golding should be Prime Minister for local government. Nobody came out for that. They came out to vote against Andrew Holness. I'm telling you already, you know, the voters of this country and most voters around the world don't necessarily vote for things or for someone. They are more in line in voting against something because you need that passion to go out. What brings them out is the passion, and the passion is never ever, except for like Michael Manley and Portia Simpson Miller, the passion is never ever for somebody. The passion is always against somebody. When you have high voter turnout, it's a passionate turnout against something or somebody, like we had in 1986. The PNP lost the election in 1980. Now Michael started rebuild back the party. By 82, the country was starting to feel the pinch and don't want Edward Seaga. Then he snapped a snappy chance that he had and got out a Grenada. Him and Ronald Reagan go play a cowboy. And he got some bomb and call a snap elections, and also Michael Manley and the crew of PNP took a wise decision. We're not participating in it. It's a fraud. By 84, come around, the people of this country was calling for PNP, calling for Michael Manley, shouting at the top of them lungs. And them couldn't put up the local government elections any longer. Them draw it in 86, and PNP sweep the country in a landslide. 75% of persons in rural Jamaica came out and voted for the PNP against Edward Siaga, 75% in the rural parts of Jamaica, 65 or thereabout in the corporate area. Now that is where you call when PNP people vex and them are come to come vote against you, and that you talk about. We're not looking for 75% in rural Jamaica or 65% in the corporate area. But my God, man, with all that has been going on, Mark has been campaigning for 3+ years, have done almost 25 tours across the country. Everybody you talk to saying Andrew Holness is failing, and Mark could not deliver a precise, concise victory for the PNP. Them are run up and down now in courts, run up and down and try to circumvent the system that we have, the electoral system that we have. Them trying now to circumvent it, to change it to their will, because the results don't suit them. That's what they're doing, because they couldn't deliver a decisive win. All because of what Mark and Bunting and Dayton Campbell them did. It is nothing else. You don't think that we're out here rub them out because of foolishness? Oh, please. Why do you think the PNP workers them back the hell off? Because only in them constituency push people down them throat. Only in them constituency tell them this is the person who don't care what you want. Only send out vice note in the case of a general secretary who love to send out vice note to people. Who don't like it can fuck off. Mark Golding told the 2 councillors who are now GLP councillors as a result of the follies of him and Ian Eales. This is nothing but Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell and Peter Bunting doing. The PNP base. And because of what they did, there are people in the PNP, like Pat Morgan, for example, who don't feel no way about telling people so you must go vote or they don't go vote for Bujo. Because that is the precedent where the current crop of leaders have set. And nobody no pay no price for it. I don't want people to reward them for it. What they do is see the long-term damage. People know now what they did. People know that them destroy the party. People know that them spent $500 million to destroy Peter Phillips. People now know that they went into constituencies and targeted candidates for them to lose. The people knows. And that is why the workers, the PNP, hardcore, committed, competent workers, take away themselves from them. And the struggle is now for workers that uno have people sit down at polling station outside and say I them for take off the name them. And them don't know how much people vote. And them don't know how much people on the voters list. All over the damn country. That was happening. Because them don't know who the people are coming come vote. Them just stick a name. Them can't tell you nothing. Because them not trained. Them not committed. Them not competent. Them just come from a PNP area, you take them as a PNP and say, go and go stick up. Put on the orange shirt and go and go stick up the name. One young lady sat down at the outdoor agent stall at Edith Dalton James. I say, how many people on your voters list? Just write down which people on the voters list and tell me how many people coming to vote from your thing for me. She had about 3 voters list, and what she gave me was the total numbers. 3 different numbers of 3 different voters lists. That's what she gave me. 3 different numbers, 3 voters list. She take everybody voters list and write the number them. I look at how much people have voted and write that give me. I didn't bother upset with her because she clearly don't understand what she's doing. I look for the cluster manager and have a talk with her about what is what. But that is what we faced on election day. A cluster manager sit down round table in a bib. Sit down round table in a bib. You ask him for the PNP voters list. It take him about 20 minutes and go somewhere. We don't know where him go. If you bring it, come give me. But I already had the list. That is not a list where Buju made. That's not a list where anybody made. That's a list that we made in 2016. And we do our best to scrub it in terms of people that died, or people gone to foreign, or people that moved. That's a list that Comrade can easy find because I'm sure him have it on his computer as well. Just print it off. Take out them names up. Look at your list and tell me how many of these names have turned up and voted already. But an experienced and committed and competent outdoor agent could actually hand me a list of about 8 people. Karen, go for them, man. Because you always go for them. Go for them. You know, from when we call them, nobody now move them up there, smoke ganja and go with all kind of things. And that requires trust. That requires trust. And when I walk through the gate, I say, what the Ross is wrong with you? Why do I send food for vote? Everybody sit down and go and behave like nothing happened. What happened? Nobody not pay me. What, Miss Karen? I know. We just say, nah, come out here. Yeah, man, we're going to do it, man. So see the taxi there. But I go put on one shirt, man. Go put on a shirt. But me not beard from morning down by the beard. You know, so I something that will wait till you come back. Boy, you see him where he? I know. Fuck up and set of young ladies. Pat people them stand up there. On the naga vote, because I'm not going to get voters on the naga vote because I'm not vote yet. I'm pointing out to you, the PNP people will listen to this, what was happening on the ground. How not look for voters and I'm not vote yet? We're not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I could tell immediately. Me a politician, and you should be able to tell those things. I could tell immediately that Pat Morgan was whispering in their ears or talking things in their presence to make them want to itch about whether they should go vote yes or no. But I light some fire under them Ross, you see. Not cuss them, not quarrel them, but light fire under them and remind them. I reminded them of what PNP did for them. I reminded them about the lands that them live upon. I reminded them. They went out, they went down there and voted. The people in the constituencies that suffering are also the people that fool the people in the constituencies are beat down. Barnes will remove Comrade McClymont from the Palmer's Cross division to give it to him friend. He remove a legitimately selected candidate to give it to him friend. Lost the seat. And the big one is Norman Scott, who hounded the young woman, Carol Davis, hounded her, pounded her, shut up things about the young woman because he wanted the seat to give to the Turnback Labour right when he sit all. Hounded the young woman that spent 3 years building an organization in the Georgia division. 3 years she spent building an organization. How much time she called us and asked us for help in all kind of things. And we did the best we could. I did the best I could too. And Norman Scott removed her, and Dennis Daly, the regional chairman, a female regional chairman, sat there and allowed Norman Scott to hound the young woman out of Troja division in order to give it to a Turnback Labourite who lost it, and sent the young woman straight in the arms of the JLP, where she ran a PNP seat, the Mount Industry seat, and won it for the JLP. Him should be run out of the PNP as a vice president just for that. Dayton Campbell, I walk round and I push candidates in places. I threw Lisa and I needed to win back our 4 seats, but couldn't have a rage no war upon him baby mother, who him installed down there, who never have no workers. She never have no workers. She called workers meeting, not one person showed up. My information is that it's Lisa and I mobilize workers from different places to come work for her and get them trained and have them there, and supported her. And there for her, the biggest winner in this election is Lisa Hanna. won back her 4 seats in spite of all that she endured. She was able to put her differences aside and go out or campaign with people to help them, boost them up with Wayne and Swaby and Charmian and others across the country who should help build them up, give them a vibes, give them a look. Because that's name brand name, I walk with them. And she doing that. Not only bring over her constituency and put away ugly thief in Lion Lydia for life. Put she down for life. She can't come back. Out of the woman constituency forever now. Thank God for Jesus. The sun is shining bright. God is good. At least Anna won back her 4 seats in St. Anne. How many seats do you have in St. Anne? How many seats the PNP have in St. Anne? Answer that question when the people ask, you know. When they installing people out there. The people them down at Outer Race Division told you in no uncertain terms that they don't want this lady. They consistently, the workers, the people who work in the elections, all the elections, were consistently in contact with Michelle, pardon me, telling her that they are going to do what they can for them party, but they are nothing with her. Now when people are walking around and talk that them are nothing with the candidate, what do you think will happen? When everybody know that the candidate are disrespect people and them people them are nothing with her, they're like, what do you think going to happen? What do you thought that would happen? This is the first test that prove everything that we have been doing for the last 3 years. That the PNP base, by and large, they are nothing we don't know. So they can always salivate and go on, and everybody prim up themselves and walk around like prima donna because you smell the power come. You smell it. So everybody a prima donna and cock up them ass in the ear and go around the place because you smell the power. You smell the power. Because Andrew Holness didn't run away with the local government. You an idiot or something? No, you an idiot or something? The onus was on the PNP to topple Andrew Holness with this local government election. It wouldn't give us any state power, but it would have given us local power, and it would be just for bragging rights. Had Mark Golding spent his time talking about, yes, getting rid of Brogard because it's a good rallying cry, but also introducing the candidates and talking about local government and going to the areas, go introduce the candidate and walk with the candidates instead of rolling in with piss pot load of people and car. And go look for the PNP base. Let people direct him to where the PNP base is. Go get them to up. See how them feel. Because Mark Golding, by and large, have stayed away from the fracas. Apart from telling James and Miles to fuck off. He basically allowed Dayton Campbell and Angela Brown Burke and Paul Burke to run ramshad over the constituencies and the corporate and the divisional seats. He basically allow them to make those decisions and cause all kind of disruptions in the constituencies. And I don't see nothing yet. And I don't see anything yet. 29.1%. Split it in two. Split it in two. You only get 15. The GLP get 14. You only get 15 and a half or 16. You only get 16. And give the GLP the 14. Based on the results of the popular vote. Do that. You think that can win elections? Almost every council's like dirt got 2,000 votes. 2,000 votes of people they don't know. 2,000 votes of people that they never enumerated. 2,000 votes of people that they never engaged. This, I am telling you, is an anomaly. It will never be repeated in a general election. Because in a couple of weeks, the young people who came out on the 26th, them slow, them ignorant, them ill-informed, them not involved in the political process. So it will take them a little while before them realize that Brogard is still Prime Minister. And they went out basically in vain. The young people who went out and voted. the middle-aged people who went out and voted. Like my friend Brian was telling me that his mother went out and voted. She never voted in 2020. And she voted because she wanted to get to the Boga. She had nothing with him. Yeah. And yes, I think she also liked Mark. So she went out and voted. Those people. And she knew it was a local government elections. But she was hoping that enough people felt the same way that she did. So that we could have a decisive victory. A decisive victory would be like 9 councils. The climate should give us 9 council. The climate. If you are championing on the notion that the country is upset with Andrew Holness, then that alone should have been the motivating factor for the PNP base, but it was not. It was not. The PNP base showed up in Southeast St. Anne for Lisa Anna for spitting at all on the face. They did. Just to spit on Uno. Just to spitting on the face. The Southeast St. Anne PNP base showed up for the member of parliament. I hope she reconsider now and stay. Yeah? People showed up in droves. Down the constituency, down the South St. Andrew. Mobilization of young people. What they mobilize them? They mobilize themselves. They came out. And I know that man and man down there, the big man them down there, help do that. Help make that happen. I know that. I know also that the Manchester Parish Council was basically secure when the big man down there so take himself up and out there with the candidates them. And then people come out because people respond to people who them know are their friends. People respond to people who them know help them. People respond to people who them know them can call upon. If the big man down at Manchester never do that. If the big man them in a Kingston and never do that. Una say less than want to see it right now. Absolutely that, not telling you that. Because the PNP base still no nothing with Uno. No nothing with Uno. Everything is a farce. Everything is camouflaged. So Mark now spreading this lie, this other lie. There's the big lie that you know win local government election, which you know did not win. And the Jamaican people slowly coming to the realization that you never win. But Dayton Campbell is actively undermining our electoral process, and the United States is watching. The world is watching him, that pedophile who sits on the ECJ collecting $30 million a year, undermining the electoral system that has worked for us, that no party has ever cried foul about. No party has ever said that they are cheated or they feel cheated. No party has ever questioned the results from our electoral office. But no, we not try eke out a win because you're afraid the people who came out are going to attack you and come at you. So the need for produce something give them. If you say, yeah, it wasn't in vain, that the $150 million wasn't in vain, so they need to produce something for them. You know? When I take my time, we don't know. Who is the cause of this? Who is the cause of this? Any other leader would have seen a wipeout of the Jamaica Labour Party. Any other leader. And let me tell you, you know, JLP people upset, you know. JLP people upset with Mrs. Holness in particular. Because she seems to be walking around and meddling everybody's constituency and moving people and changing candidates. See what happened in her constituency? That there is not an anomaly. She have moved people and people really are vexed. And people are sabotaged. She too. She has sabotaged people and people are sabotaged she too. Everybody has become an expert at sabotaging. Started by Golden and Bunting. Everybody has become an expert at sabotaging each other to make people lose. And she's going to feel it. Just like that. But the rest of this where people just turn up to vote, without anybody asking them, and for no particular reason, or them don't know the candidates them a vote for, except that some of them now asking when them are going to swear in Lisa Hannah. I swear to God, as Jesus is in the sky tonight, or wherever he's sitting on his throne, people are asked, the resistance leaders are telling me, people asking when they're going to swear in Lisa, or some people ask when they're going to swear in Damien. Those are people who support those two. People even ask when they're going to swear in Dayton, which is a strange thing. Very strange thing. But nobody's asking when they're going to swear in Mark. Nobody. Because I don't know him. Because he wasted the opportunity to go down to the PNP base. Instead, he was running around the country hoping. The campaign was about hope. Hoping that enough people upset with Andrew Holness and they will come out and vote against him. Hoping but have no other strategy as to how you go and get them out. You can hope, but you must have an strategy as to how you get out your base. But the base not responding to you because you people have disrespected the PNP base. You disrespect the PNP base. And them not forgetting it anytime too soon. Lawrence Rowe, who was a part of the big sabotage operation against Imani down in Central Kingston. He's now the candidate for the PNP for Central Kingston. And he was way up in them feelings, high up in them feelings, that Lisa Hannah came to walk with Charmaine. I would like to advise Charmaine that when she's going out to go walk and thank the people, ask Lisa Hannah to come with you. Make somebody get for lick Lawrence Rowe in her face. So help me God. You get Lisa Hannah to come walk in the constituency before you go itch up yourself there and push up yourself there. Like a damn ass you there one side, a sabotage and a complaint. Before you go itch up yourself and make people see you. You there one side a complain. Since you're not politicians, you know. You're not grifters. You're not people who did dirty work for Bunting and Mark. Dirty work for Bunting and Mark and you get rewarded for it. You did dirty work for Angela Brownberg and you get rewarded for it. And you them it send out here for go find the JP them or sign the statement for the young ladies them. For go antagonize and terrorize the JP them. You them it send. So all the dirty work what you did for them, you got rewarded with Michael Manley's seat. With Ralph Brown's seat. You get rewarded. And still don't know that it is not fucking about you. Still don't know that has nothing to do with you, you look a bad color red hands boy. Has nothing to do with you. That behave like it have anything to do with you. It's not you. It's Norman Manley party. And them take Michael Manley good seat and give it to you. And you get Lisa Hannah. Come walk with one of your councillor candidates. And all you could do is cock up your tail and complain? Huh? That tells me. That I don't know if you tell anybody else. But that tells me that you, Lawrence Rowe, is acting out the continued sabotage, the continued Judasry of the People's National Party, which has not stopped. Your actions tells me that. I mean, if your leaders had said to you, we're done with this. We want Lisa Hannah to be here and we want Damien to be, well, them shut him up. But this is what needs to be done. If they were telling you that you would do that shit. Or them can't control you. Or everybody just have them own power because of all the nastiness that you did for them, that you get rewarded and have secrets for them. Just like how Mark said him couldn't remove Ian because Ian did a lot for him. Never talk about Ian. I'm not quarreling with Ian because I already made that commitment to my family. But Ian might not be able to survive Western Westmoreland. And I know how him think. And I know how him little team think. But I want him to listen to me very carefully. I don't have to take anything I say serious. After no them that damn listen, but listen to me. The people of Western Westmoreland, a majority of them, do not like Ian Eels. That is not fiction. That is fact. They do not like him. And I'm inclined to think, to believe, that part of the voters that went out to vote for Miles and James were not only people who feel that Miles and James were good PNP councillors and they want them to continue to be their councillors, but also I believe a couple of people wanted to just spit my ear and ears. Just want to spit in him face. I understand that couple of them pass him and say, me a PNP, but me a going to vote for my councillor James, or me a going to vote for my councillor Miles. A couple of people were doing that. In him, to him face, they were doing that. And none of you seem to have understood what happened on the 26th of February. Dayton, Campbell, and Mark Golding busy at try prove to everybody that them win when they actually have lost. Uno lose. But Uno can boast about a few things. Both say we get more vote than the GLP got popular vote. Vote say we get more vote in 2024 than we got in 2016. What's about that? Both say you have 98 council, now you have 115. What's about that? But you did not win. And if you take away Portmore to make it a municipality and put all the Portmore councillors in that municipality, you will lose St. Catherine. Because it is the Portmore councillors that make up that win in St. Catherine. St. Catherine can't stand on its own because of Scotty. So take on go on. Because all they do is get Portmore, which would have the mayorship. It would have done nothing else. We could have both sort of win a council, but we would lose St. Catherine. Because it is the Portmore comrades, councillors that make up the win in St. Catherine. But Ian Hales is in deep crap. Him don't feel so because he was a man that live within himself and talk about where him numbers them, where him have, and him having people them, and Ray and Tay. The people of Western Westmoreland dislike him intensely. The people in those two divisions that Miles and James won, very, very upset about how they treated their councillors. How Mark tell them to fuck off. The people upset like that. And I don't think that anybody has gone to soothe those concerns. Nobody don't think that they need to go talk to people because that's so cockety and steer. Ian is not soothe people's concerns. He's not that type of person. He not have that personality to go down on one place where the whole of the PNP votes them there and sit down make everybody cuss him. And when them done cuss him just go away in shame and come back again, make them cuss him. And him buy something and go away again in shame and come back again, make them cuss him again. And wait upon them for ask him if him not have nothing to say. Because you don't cussing him, he can't say nothing. Him not have that within him, not that kind of humility. Where him go sit down and make people cuss him, and then him have people around him and tell him, make them go away. Them can't make nothing, man. Because some of them may tell me, Miles can't win. Not even one PNP vote Miles can't get. And I said to the person who was telling me this, listen to me, I said to Vasiana. I said, listen to me, Wayne. You need to be very careful what you do. Not even one PNP vote. Not even one PNP vote, my God. I said, Vasiana, you know something, I said to him, say, you know something, I done. No more argument with you, because you don't listen. You clearly don't have an ear for listening. Because you don't do a seat. You can't listen to something if you don't see it, you know. You have to see it. You don't know what impact the fracas had. Now, if you just go find out first and foremost what impact the fracas had, it would have tell you now. If we take time out to go look for the PNP people, them want to hear say vex and hear them out. If we take time out to go talk to James and talk to Miles and hold a conversation and plead with them and make some compromises. But that is not uno. A food party uno buy it for 500 million. And uno refuse to sit down with anybody when a full 150% come to support the leader and no argument and throw people and uno refuse to do that. And that is why the PNP base did not show up for Uno. And the young people and the people that were fed up with Brogard saved the day. But not enough. Never saved the whole day. Them just saved half the day. The question is, can you repeat that? Will that ever be repeated? Can you go out there, go campaign for the next 16 months and tell them that we never get rid of Brogard in February, but we're going to need enough to get rid of him the next time around? Can you go and go sell it? Because that is not going to be an argument next year. That can't be an argument unless you go tell them so to try to push him through the door and then put him two and cross with the door and couldn't get to push him. So we're going to push him out the next time. Now that's when we can cook up a story to tell them why I never leave. Now why Mark is not sworn in as the local government prime minister. You don't have to explain it to them. I don't have the capacity to explain things to voters because you're not cocky and thinks that somebody owns something on spend on open money and they like it back by getting the power. And that's basically on the demeanor about all of this. So Westmoreland West is in danger because Ian is not liked, and that's a fact. And people now have to love you, but you need people to like you. People now have to love you, you just need them to like you. It's all over Westmoreland what you did to James and Miles. All over every part of Westmoreland. There's no cranny or any nook that don't have that story that Mark tell the man them to fuck off. Every cranny and every nook have that story. Everybody, every bike man, every taxi man, every vendor at the market have that story. You know say them story they fly fast. Those are juicy stories. People are going to hear them. One somebody say it to a neighbor, the neighbor say it to that somebody. One somebody acquire about it at the market, the whole market hear about it. One somebody go to the pharmacy and repeat it, the entire pharmacy come out with it. One somebody go to the supermarket, go to the wholesale, everybody go to the square, three of them meet up at the square, them a talk about it. Three of them meet up at the gas station, them a talk about it. What's wrong with you? Nothing move faster than word of mouth. Not even social media. Because people need internet to go on. Never need no internet for word of mouth. Word of mouth operate on a level that does not need no gas, does not need no internet, does not need any data. It's just word of mouth. It operates per spit. Word of mouth. You know hear when the people them say, Mark Golden said to Miles, hey, we don't want you here song, you know. I'm running Miles. The one here is him left over and over, mash up all and over the cover, I can want mash up over here. And want mash up Mr. James. Not to Ross, we now make him mash up with consequences. But did I listen? What do you think? What do you think? That's just 5 people? Or 6 people? Look at the damn head. That's all I can say. So there is that. Now we win back 2 seats in South and St. James. It's our seats them. That's not a big nothing. It's our seat them. And we got them back. Because some young people came out. Now hear the thing about all those newly elected councillors, and I want them to hear me good. People like Giovanni, Byfield and Gale, who don't know how him got elected, and the people who elected him don't know who he is. They will soon find out. They will find out in very short order who Giovanni Byfield is and what he did against Jason Stanton, I think his name is, Stanford. Against Jason Stanford. They will find out eventually. Time longer than rope. And when you think the PNP base wasn't listening to us, they actually were. And sooner or later, the people that came out and vote for all these councillors who they don't know, who they never even know whose name, some of them they've never time to look at the ballot at the names, them just go in there and put them X squarely beside the head, which is a great feeling and a great thing. But when them wake up a couple weeks from now, because they don't wake up yet, them still in them days, and find out who some of these people are as their councillors, some people will be pleased that Waynette Strawn is their councillor. She's easy on the eyes. She's bright. Some people will be pleased that them have Darrington as them councillor in popping. And I am over pleased about that one. People will be pleased to look at Jesse James as a councillor for Trafalgar. Him easy on the eyes as well. People will be pleased. People are already pleased that them have Dennis. So when they wake up and find out about some of these new councillors that them have, things will turn very quickly and very fast if them just live up to the obligations and the oath of office that them taking. People are gonna wake up fast when somebody see him and some youth have a car and somebody say, councillor, you know, and this fool actually did go vote for him and say, hey, I am that? I am a councillor? What I say? Eh? Chano. So I would girl. I share your new councillor. A lie. I see my vote for. Yeah, I'm gonna go check her and tell her my vote for. When that dawn on them, when them actually start seeing them in action or feeling them, you better try and live up to that. You better try and live up to that. I'm telling you. You better watch yourself, because this thing going to move very fast. I promise you that this is the fastest 4 years we're going to see now in our life. So you better buckle up for the ride. Put on the seatbelt and be on the best behavior. So who are plan for going to go thief and feather them own nest and give them family work and hire them family and them friends. All I know we are plan that. If I was on, I would have draw a break on them plan there. And go serve the people. Because sooner or later, them are going to wake up and realize say, uno and them councillor and them going to come for uno. Them going to be coming for you. Understand that? The KSAC. I know there is a succession thing. Can you call it a succession thing? It's kind of a bench movement within the council, where every new council, the senior people move up to the nearer benches, front bench, second bench, so on and so forth. And I am not disrespecting anyone. This is not an intent to disrespect any member of the council. And I know that the KSAC have some oldsters whose turn it is to sit at the front. But for God's sake, don't put them at the front. Do not put them at the front, Swaby, and whoever is going to be in charge of this. Love Hazel. Do. Love Carl. Love all of these people. But the front bench need to be more attractive. I mean, now put my mouth on ground and talk. The front bench need to be more attractive. Most of these people in the senior ranks are on them last lap. Them can sit down in the middle. And in some instances, sit down at the back. It's them last lap, and then probably not even going to spend most of the money at the communities and the division. And probably going to thief it. I mean, now mince my word when me attack. The front bench need to have the attractive new people. The new people who have something to prove. The new people who have to build back the PNP base and the constituencies in the divisions. So the front bench need to have the attractive new people, and the second bench too. The people, the front and the second bench need to have people who have sense, who can talk, who can communicate, who can make the council look good, who can make the PNP benches look good. The front bench need to have Waynet and Dennis and Jesse and Darrington. Yeah. That's where the front bench need to have. And then take it from there. All the other people them can stay. Because many of them not very good looking. Please. Me not cussing nobody. Me not disrespecting nobody. But you're not good looking. You can't talk. And not even clothes can make you look good. So don't stifle the progress that the council can make. When the media come in, make the media get the best part of the council. You stay in the middle and at the back. Make the new, good-looking, nice people that we can talk, make them shine. Put Sarah and Miss Newland and the rest of them. Put them in the second bench and put Jesse and Waynet and Dennis and Darrington and put them at the front bench. The rest of them take the other benches, them going back. Do not give them that front bench status. Anyway, that's just me talking. It's up to Uno, because they don't care about these things. Uno care about what Uno believe should be done. If it's a process, if it's not law, it's not law. If it's not law, and if it's not rules, and even if it is rules, is a new sheriff in town now, the sheriff can change the rules. And when you got change rules, it must be changed for better, not for worse. So if you change this rule, it can be changed for better by putting the better people up front. You know, I give them up a responsibility, because them have got, cut them teeth and Roberts first and learn the ropes. But you need them to make your council look good. You need a council, you need to present them to the Jamaican public, to the Kingston and St. Andrew public, and let the public see those faces of the PNP benches in the council. And that is basically what you need to do. And if it is not a law, and if it's a process that is a discretionary thing that the mayor can instruct, then the mayor should just instruct, and he might take some flack for it then. But the mayor must grow some balls, because the mayor himself need to grow some balls and have some strength. And say, yo, we want this is the front bench. We need a front bench to help us going forward in the next 2 years or so, to make it look good. And that's basically my view on that. This voice note is very long, but I truly wanted to reiterate some things that I'm sure many people will have to go through the live to go through, to see those things, to get to those things that I've said. And I wanted to just reiterate them to make people understand that this is it. The final thing I want to say is this: the PNP, Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell, must stop them shenanigans and stop fooling around with our electoral system. Accept the results as they are, as they were meant to be, as the law, as the practice is. Accept the results. You won 5 municipal corporations. You won the mayorship of Portmore. Go boast about that. Go boast about the 115 council seats as against the GLP 112 or 113 that they have. Go boast that the PNP got 70,000, it's not 50, it's 70,000 more votes in 2024 than we got in 2016. Go boast about that. Go boast about how you're going to move on. Go boast about that and move on. But stop mire the party into this feckless, stupid, power-hungry activity. You know, got quote and you know, put out this and you know, put out that so we win and this so we win, and you have some buffoons and some jackasses out there buying it and selling it and trying to put it out there. People don't believe, you know. Take it from me. People don't believe, you know. Nobody believe, you know. They believe me, not you know. People believe me because I'm telling the truth. So take my foolish advice. Drop that foolishness. Accept the results and show some seniority, show some status, show some, there's a word for it. There's a word for it. Show some statesmanship. Show leadership. This is the result. It's not as how we would like it to be, but we did much, much better than we anticipated. Tell it as that. But for God's sake, stop licking down our electoral system. Stop sticking it up. And stop forcing and beating down the journalists them to report things how they want it to. Them things are going to get out to the Jamaican public, you know. Them things are going to get, it might be slow, but it's going to reach the public. I'm going to make sure the public knows. Me, I'm going to make sure them know that you know I do. So the need for draw breaks plan it now. Because that is going to be my next battle cry. That you know lose the election and try to sell the PNP a hologio, or try to sell PNP people in the country a hologio so they win election. It's malarkey. Hologio. Dopey story. It's a lie. It's a damn lie. Tell them want to win. Explain to them how the process works, how the system works, and what the system is. Stop trying to corrupt it and control it and bend it to your will. Stop it. And that will be better for you. That will be much, much better for all of you. All right? All right then. Thank you for listening. The tea cold again, but this time is my fault, not yours. I shouldn't have made it before. God bless you, everybody. All right? Stay safe and keep the children safe. Have a great day.